Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and this is going to be our Relics Expedition playthrough. So, if you're new to No Man's Sky, or you're a veteran, you're coming back after a couple of years, this is the perfect time to get in because the Relic Expedition is awesome. It shows you all the new stuff in the latest update that we just got, the Relics update. So, as always, I will start a brand new game. However, you don't need to do this anymore. If you have a game like for 165 hours and you want to just jump in the expedition, all you have to do is go to the space anomaly. There is now a new terminal in the back. So on the landing pad, go all the way to the back, and there is a expedition terminal that allows you to start it from your main save or whatever. You can have a save that has 10 hours in it or whatever you want to do. You can do it from there, and it allows you to bring some items over with you. It's kind of limited. They don't want to make you OP. It's not your same character, but you can bring some stuff with you if you'd like. But I'm going to start a brand new save right here. And right down to the bottom, it says Expedition 18 Relics. We have 6 weeks to do this. So the official end date as of right now, and that could change. I'm doing this in March. The official end date is May 7th. So first week of May, get it done before then. We got plenty of time. We got the whole month of April to get this done. So let's jump in here. Now, if you're a brand new player and you don't know what an expedition is, these are little mini timed events. Like we just said, it's 6 weeks long. But they're mini events that allow you to play the game in a different kind of way. And usually they're used to show you different features of the game. So a lot of people will be playing in a different way, and it makes them uncomfortable, but it also shows you some cool stuff that you might have overlooked. So a lot of expeditions, they'll start you off on a planet, and you don't have anything. You need to, basically like a fresh save, like brand new save. But they have pre-installed upgrades, and they give you certain objectives. They call them milestones. They say, hey, go fix your ship. And if you do that, they will give you a reward that will help you out and actually boost up your character. They will give you free upgrades. They will give you free items, things to help you along in the game. And as you keep doing those objectives or those milestones, you will actually get overall rewards that are only gotten in the expedition. So this is the only way to get some rewards. In the Relics Expedition, this expedition, we are going to get a cool new stone armor set. So you're going to be able to use a stone helmet, gloves, chest piece, pants, boots. It's very, very cool. And the first thing you're going to notice is my character probably looks different from yours. So this is all cosmetic. My weapon, my character, my ship, it's all cosmetic. But if you go into your inventory menu, you should see the same exact setup. It might look a little different, like your squares might be positioned differently, but you'll have all the same upgrades that I do. You'll have these translators here. You'll have a jetpack. You'll have all this stuff here. And I would highly recommend don't use this by default because you don't want to have your translator supercharged. That's ridiculous. Supercharged slots are for technology upgrades. That way you can use it better. So I would say I'm going to move my jetpack down here. So if you hover over your technology, if you press X on Xbox or square on PlayStation, you can pick it up and move it. And put the special items you want to get upgraded in your supercharged slots. So, like this is my jetpack upgrade. It gives me 25% jetpack tanks, 11% more recharge rate, things like that. But if I put it in the supercharge, now you can look at it. Look at that. All the stats are increased. That's why you want to use these supercharged, these purple slots, only for the items you want to buff. So I'm going to take out the translator. I don't need to talk to aliens. But what I do want is my shields. So I'm going to move that over there. So there we go. So I kind of moved some stuff around. You can do the same thing for your ship and the same thing for your multi-tool. Again, you have supercharged slots here. Well, you don't have any on mine because my multi-tool is really low level. But you can still move some stuff around. So we'll do that. And let's put all our weapons together. That way we're all good here. And you know what? We'll actually switch that out. So let's do this. There. So we have our weapon up here. We have our laser down here. And then we have our other technologies right there. Got it. So you will start off on a planet. Everyone starts off on the same planet, just in different parts. Another thing to keep in mind is on every brand new save, you will have PvP on by default. So I would highly recommend go into your options menu, press pause, go to your options tab, go to your network settings, and look at all of this and make sure these are all set correctly, because every single time PvP is turned on. You don't want that. I mean, unless you do. But essentially, if anyone sees you, if you're in multiplayer, they can kill you. So don't... I would recommend turning that off, especially for new players. I mean, you could just totally turn off multiplayer completely if you want to. If you want to, just turn it off completely. However, this setting will not change. So if I have this set to anyone and I just change this, look at, nothing happens with PvP. So it'll always be on. So if someone finds a way to join my game, or like 3 months from now, if I decide, hey, I want to try some multiplayer, and I just turn it on, that PvP will be on too. So don't leave that on unless you really want to. And I mean, for my personal preference, No Man's Sky is not a PvP kind of game. It's more of a co-op game. And so why have PvP turned on? Unless you're in there with Survival Bob, you don't need to do that. Everyone knows Survival Bob, we have to take him out, right? So there you go. And if you want to go through and look at your expedition tab, this is going to be all your missions right here. We talked about those earlier. So we have to go locate my starship. We have to collect ancient artifacts. So these are all different missions we do, and you get a reward for doing that. So if I go and find my ship, I will get a personal refiner unit. I will get launch fuel for my ship, 3 of them. I will get a signal booster and surge batteries, and I will learn 12 different words for the Gek. So you see, all of these are all kind of in order. So they give you the easy ones first, and as you get to different phases, they will get a little bit more difficult, more and more. So as you get to like phase 5, these are going to be really, really hard. You know, like reassemble a protoform skeleton. That's a whole big deal later on. Searching for dung samples. But you don't have to do this in order. You can jump around and say, I actually want to do phase 3. You need to get to the 3rd rendezvous, the 3rd dig site, and then do that. You can also discover plant life. You can do all this stuff in any order you'd like. I would recommend doing a little bit of everything all, you know, while you can. So like this one, for instance, discover 5 or 15 plants. You can do that as you go. So if I scan a plant, like this tree right here, I scan 1 plant, right? I go back into my menu, go to my expedition tab. Now I have 1 out of 15. So just slowly do some of these as you're going along. It makes sense. So just keep that in mind in the background of your head. Like, oh, I have an objective for, or a milestone for scanning rocks. I have another milestone for scanning plants and for animals. So scan all these while you're going along, and you'll just slowly tick them off. The big one that I would say keep your eye on, this whole expedition is based on digging up fossils, digging up bones. Those are the new additions to the game. However, in phase 4, you have a milestone to collect 80 different bones. 80. And I say different, just 80 total. If you get the same bone over and over, it still counts. But 80 separate bones. That is going to take you a long, long time. So just keep excavating those bones, because this is going to take you a long time to get done. So as you look around, just look for some bones and excavate those. Scan some stuff here and there. But yeah, that's the big one. So keep that one in the back of your head. You need to just constantly be digging up all the bones, all the fossils, because you're going to need a whole bunch of them. Trying to scan some stuff here. I can see some animals. Red dots are animals. Look at these guys. Oh man, there's a whole bunch over here. Look at these guys. Get on here. And so yeah, we have milestones for animals, for plants, for rocks, for minerals. So I would just, you know, as you're going along. And if you can, collect all the materials you possibly can. So we're going to need a lot of cobalt. We're going to need a lot of carbon, ferrite dust. So scan some stuff, get some stuff, you're good to go. So the nice thing about this particular expedition is that you don't need to fix your ship. Polished stone, we don't need that. So if you go back into your menu and look at your ship, look at that. Nothing is broken. That's like one of the few times when I was chatting with my chat on a live stream. I think there's only one other time they've given you an unbroken ship, a fixed ship to start with. Most of the time, we're talking like 95% of the time, you have to fix it because it's broken. This time you don't, which is awesome. There's also another milestone for destroying these hazardous plants. These plants that do damage to you. So just take those guys out while you're going along. And you can always find those by looking for a red exclamation point in your visor. They will pop up as a red one. So you know, okay, that's a dangerous one right there. Get this guy out of here. Done. So I'm just gonna kind of stroll along, collect some resources. Again, you can buy most of this. You can't buy oxygen and you cannot buy carbon at space stations, but you can buy ferrite dust, cobalt, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna need some money, so make sure you're collecting money if you're gonna do it that way. But it is absolutely free. It just takes your time to get it on the planet, so why not, right? Oh, give me that oxygen. Beautiful. Give me that. Oh, this is a tree I haven't scanned yet. Let's scan that tree. And even if you think you've scanned a tree, scan it again, or at least pull up your visor to look at it, because there are some times where you see two trees that look exactly the same, but one tree just so happens to be different because it has an extra branch or it has a different texture on it. And so it counts as a separate tree. And so you might get fooled into thinking, oh, it's the same one I've already scanned. Nope, it's a whole different one. So like those are the same. You just pull up your visor and look and see. Oh, is there question marks on it on the left? Nope. It's all good. So we're good to go. Ooh, let's get some carbon. Condensed carbon. I like that. And we're going to use this later on for upgrades and different materials we have to build. Because remember, we're going to have to build some relic exhibits, some fossil exhibits. And so we're going to need some materials to do that. Another thing to keep in mind while you're on the starter planet is there are these cool memory stones. That's an objective. That's a milestone. Is to collect, I believe, 5 of them. So as you're running around collecting your resources, grab a couple of these while you're here. There you are. You can grab all of them if you want. I believe it's 5. So just grab whatever you want. Let's get some technology modules. Beautiful. And always check these damaged machineries because they could have good upgrades. We don't need the viscous fluids. Get out of that. But they will most of the time give you nanites, but sometimes they give you objects. So I got nanites out of that one. That's okay. That looks like a new tree. That is a new tree. There it is. And we have a new little animal right here. Beautiful. Oh, flying animals. Let's grab those guys while we're here. So, oh man, these guys are, oh no! This guy got me. Look at a little tiny baby one. Doing some damage, man. Dang. All right. So we're almost to our ship. So, you know, depending on your loading location, your spawn location, your building's going to be different. A lot of stuff is randomized or procedurally generated because this is a procedural generation game. But, you know, it's going to be, sometimes it'll be similar. Sometimes you'll run into a place and go, oh yeah, I saw that too. That's junk. You can turn that into ferrite dust, but I'm not too worried about that. And there we are. Trader. Oh, there's a trader in here. What's going on here? Why does he have an exclamation point on him? Let's go talk to him. Trader. The small creature is busy adding up the trade profits when I appear. Sensing me, their eyes widen in anticipation, and they rub their fingers together greedily. Oh, I don't speak your language. Sorry, buddy. The life form pecks emphatically at the monetary figures on their pad. Then they bounce up and down. A pleasant aroma fills the air, an echo of the floral scent that drenches this lush world. Let's give them units. The life form is clearly thrilled. They give me a piece of technology in exchange. All right, well, I got a free... Whoa! Are you serious? I just got a free S-Class pulse spitter upgrade? That's pretty gnarly. I like that. My goodness. Usually you don't see S-Class. Usually they give you like a B or an A. Holy smokes, that's already looking good on this playthrough. I like that. And again, that's all randomized, so you probably won't run into that. And even if you do run into a character like that, they probably aren't going to give you an S-Class, because good lord, that's rare. That never happens to me. So let's get that down here. All right. Well, that's cool. Well, we need to get in on our ship and see what the heck is going on here. The ship communicator registers an incoming message. The frequency is unusual, broadcast on an antiquated bandwidth, but the signature is identifiable as the Galactic Paleology Society. Paleology. All right. Oh, I don't speak your language. Sorry, man. The alien babbles enthusiastically, not seeming to mind whether the specifics of their words are understood. Dust floats from their hands as they gesticulate. Gesticulate. My God, hello games, you're going to make me learn how to read. Attached to the transmission are details of an excavation schedule, plotting out a series of dig sites spread across multiple worlds. A collection of valuable relics are listed, offered as a reward for participating explorers. Well, yeah, let's go look for bones. I like looking for a good bone. The Galactic Paleology Society representative appears delighted. The first directive on the schedule is not a request for fossils, as I expected, but a request for artifacts. Perhaps this first phase is a test, a measure of my excavatory skills. So we need to go find a treasure. So because we came here, let's go get our reward because we got to our ship. Right there, boom. Personal refiner. But he also, for answering the call, he also gave us a signal booster, which is something we can use to find objects. So you can put that down. And depending on which milestone you have highlighted, let me show you what this means. If I do minerals, right? If I open the signal booster, it just says locate nearby structures or leave. That's it, right? But if I switch my mission over to collect artifacts, because we need to go find an artifact, an ancient ruin. Now if I open the signal booster, it'll ask me, hey, do you want to scan for ruins? It's going to take you 1 battery. It will modify itself based on the mission you have selected. So make sure you are selecting the mission that you want to do before you open the signal booster. Let's scan it. And now it'll scan for a nearby ancient ruin. That way I can get a treasure from there. Ancient ruin site detected. Right over there. So now, before you leave, don't forget, I always do this. Don't forget to pick up your signal booster. If you leave it here, it's not a problem. You can build another one, but you're going to need to build it. They give you one for free. You're going to need materials. You're going to need metal plating. You're going to need all that kind of stuff. If you leave it behind, you have the recipe. You're good to go. So you can if you want to. It's not a big deal, but it's cheaper and it's a little bit easier just to take it with you. You don't need to worry about that. Well, let's go over to our mission over here. 2 hours away. Well, let's go to the space. Let's get outside the atmosphere, because you can pulse drive when you get out of the atmosphere. So we are in Euclid. Okay. Let's go to our ancient ruin. Let's pulse drive over there now that we're outside the atmosphere. And if you don't know, you don't have to do this in first person. If you like third person like me, you can change it by going down to your quick menu, pressing down on your D-pad, go to utilities, and now you can switch to your starship view. And so now we're in third person if you want to. There's some ships that are kind of a pain, like this one right now. It has a huge forehead on it, so you see my my reticule, my marker is in front of that forehead, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to use. So I like going in the first person. It's a little bit easier to use your crosshairs so you can see what you're doing. Let's go land at this ancient ruin site. Now this should be a buried ancient ruin because it's old, it's under the ground. So we're gonna have to uncover it. And one thing to keep in mind is you don't want to land your ship exactly on top of it, because if you try to use your terrain manipulator under your ship, it won't let you do it because your ship needs the ground to land on. You can go over here. Oh, maybe not. There you go. There you go. So you have a little bit of an area around your ship that's blocked. You won't be able to use it. So just keep that in mind. If you can't dig up the ground, it's probably because your ship is there. Move your ship if you need to. So if you pull out your visor and look around, you're going to see a few things here. You see the large artifact crate. That's in the center. And then you'll see these little objects here called the artifact fragment. We are going to need 3 of these fragments in order to unlock the artifact crate. That's what we need to do. So these are always going to be the same. You'll always have 1 artifact inside this building every time. There's going to be 1 outside the building right here. And then there should be like 1 right about here. So I do this a lot, and so you see the patterns. But essentially, if you want to do it quickly, just find inside the little ruin, the building. Dig around here, and... oh, I dug off to the side. Artifact fragment 1 right there. Then there should be 1 right outside the building, like right here. You see, oh, there's a bridge right here, or a walkway. And there you go, boom, right there. But if you're normal, you're not like me, what you can do and what I recommend is pull out your visor, and then you can highlight the different objects. So if you don't know where this one is, if you press X or hold X if you're on Xbox, square if you're on PlayStation, it'll keep it highlighted so you can see it even when you're not using your visor. That way you know, okay, it's right there. So, but if you're crazy like me and you play this way too much, you know where they are. You kind of have it in the back of your head. So you're kind of weird. And then we have our locker right here. So let's get the artifact crate. We're going to dig down to it. And this one's a large one. And like I said before, if you try to open it right now, it'll say, hey, look, it has ancient locks. You need those artifacts that we just picked up. You're going to need 3 of them. That's why we picked up 3. We're just going to put them in. 1, 2, and 3. And we just got our first artifact, basically. So let's see what we got. We picked up a preserved host parsley. I don't know how to read. Lord, you guys are gonna make me read. Hello, games. We have that next mission done, so let's go back into our pause menu. Go to your expedition tab, and now we have our exhibition, our milestone, our second one done. We're gonna get a base computer prepackaged scatter blaster, which is a weapon. And so, heck yeah, so they will give you different weapons depending on what you want to do. So you're going to get basically one of everything if you'd like. They give you a bolt caster by default. And this is an amazing weapon if you'd like to use it. But if you want to, you can install the scatter blaster, which is like a shotgun. So it uses the same ammo, but you're very limited on your room. You see how there's not very much room left? So I would recommend picking 1 weapon. Just stick to that 1 weapon. If you like the bolt caster, stick with it. If you want to use the scatter blaster, awesome. You want to use a pulse spitter, they'll give you that one later on, neutron cannon, whatever. They will give you each weapon depending on the milestone reward. I like the scatter blaster, so I'm going to get rid of my bolt caster. If you want to dismantle it, hold down your right thumbstick, and it will destroy it. And it will give you materials. Like for my bolt caster, I will get 50 chromatic metal and 2 carbon nanotubes. So that's what I'll get. For this one, for the barrel ionizer, I'm going to get 2 glass and 1 wiring loom. And then for the last upgrade, I will get 50 pugdium and 1 wiring loom. So there we go. And I'll move my weapon over here. So now I replaced my bolt caster with a shotgun. Very, very cool. So now we need to bring proof of our excavation to the paleontologist. Oh, we also got some upgrades in here. Our different hazard protection, so I definitely want to use that. And we have a refiner. Let's use that. So now, my inventory is getting kind of filled in. So if you I would say, if you want to make more room, you can get rid of your translators. So these are not required. They do help out when you're talking to all the aliens. It will translate a few words. Like this one will translate 2 words in a sentence. This one will translate 1 word. So it'll help you read or be able to understand them. However, it's not required. So I'm going to get rid of these. I don't want them, and they're taking up room. So I'm going to get rid of my translators. Again, you don't have to do this, but I'm doing that just to save room. That way I have extra space for all my upgrades. And yeah, we're going to put all these in here. We'll do that. Supercharge that. Beautiful. All right. So now I need to bring proof of it to the excavation site. However, it's going to be in a different system. So we're going to need some fuel for our hyperdrive. So right now our hyperdrive is at 0. Let's move that around a little bit. That way I have more room in here. We have 0. So we need to make fuel, and you'll see it it'll pulsate because it knows you need to make fuel. You need to make warp cells. So I just made the tree by, if you highlight any object, like or surge battery, if you press X on Xbox or square on PlayStation, it will bring up the tree of all the materials you need to make that thing. This is very useful, especially if you don't have everything memorized. This is very useful to know, oh yeah, I need all these objects to make that one surge battery. So we'll do the same thing for our warp cell. So we need ferrite dust because we need to make an antimatter housing, and we need to make 1 antimatter. We can make the antimatter, but we don't have any antimatter housings. So we're going to need some ferrite dust. So let's kind of go out in the space. Let's see what's going on here. Now, there's another awesome addition to the Relics update that I would have appreciated this back in the last expedition, the Titan expedition. You go to your pause menu, go over to your Discovery tab. And now you can highlight every planet and just like normal. However, there's a new option. So if you see a planet you like, yeah, let's look for bones. We have bones on this one. If you press A on Xbox or X if you're on PlayStation, it will mark that object, that planet. And so now I have an extra marker on my screen to mark the location of that planet. Where did it go? I can't see it. Oh, there it is right there. Boom. So now it's a marked planet. Again, I can just take off the marker. Now there's no mark on that planet. So I love that. You can go mark a specific planet. That way you know, oh, that's the one I want to go to. Instead of trying to look around for like 10 minutes going, oh, which planet am I on? Which planet do I need to go to? You could just mark it from your menu, which is freaking amazing. I love that option. That really helps out. That would have been a benefit in the last expedition because they had the mission milestone of going to 5 different moons. And after the first couple, you got to get, turned around. You don't know which moon you've been to. You don't know which moon you haven't been to. And so it's way easier just to mark every moon. That way you know, oh, I've been to this one or I have not been to this one. I can go. So that's very, very awesome. I love that. And if you want to, like the planets you've already been to, like this one. Where's the one I've been to? That one right there. Notice how I've been to this one, so it just pulls up the planet menu. There's no way to mark it, right? Actually, that's wrong because I've already been here. I've already scanned some animals, but if I just highlight that planet, I can mark that one as well. So it takes one extra step. If you've already been to a planet, you can just mark it by clicking on the planet in the top of the screen right there. So there you go. You can do the same thing for planets you've been to as well, which is freaking awesome. But we're going to need to get some bones. We're going to need to get some materials here. Let's move some of this over to our starship. Starship. Just to make some room. We're going to need that chromatic metal for later on. Dihydrogen is good. So we're going to move everything we don't need right now into our ship. That way we can use it later on. So we're going to need ferrite dust. That's what we need because we need to make antimatter housing. So we need ferrite dust. We have the oxygen. We can probably use some more oxygen. So we're going to try to collect some materials, but we're specifically going to this planet because it has ancient bones on it. So as we're running around collecting our materials, we can also collect our ancient bones as well. That's very beneficial. Again, that milestone, 80 bones. We need to collect 80 separate bones. That's crazy. So we're on the dark side of the planet. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We're just going to land straight down. So we're just going to go right down here. We're going to land and we're going to look for bones. And as we're running around collecting our bones, we are going to get some dang materials. So I'm going to pull up my visor and look at that fossil bed right there. I'm looking around. We only have the one. I think we only have the one. Well, that's kind of sucks. That's all right. Well, let's go over here to the fossil bed. We have that one. That's marked, so it's always going to be on our screen. But the other thing, remember, we got to scan all these objects. Got to scan minerals, got to scan plants, and we got to scan animals. So make sure to do that. And once you get it done, once that milestone is finished, you don't need to do it again. It's always useful because you can get money from that. But you don't need to. It's not required. Right now, it's required because we have a milestone to do. Let's scan all these guys. And then, oh yeah, remember, we have to destroy our hazardous plants. So let's pick this one. The exploders are the best. They give you oxygen from those red bulbs that it has. And then you just kill them and you get more oxygen on top of that. So definitely, if you have the option, go find some exploder plants. These guys right here. Because, again, these red orbs right here, you can just pull them for oxygen. And then destroy the plant afterwards, and you get extra oxygen from that. Oh, he's angry. I accidentally shot you. I didn't mean to. You were in the way. It's not my fault. Oh, God, I'm going to shoot him. Didn't mean to, man. Calm down, crab. I mean, you know, he is calmed down permanently now. All right. Just grab an oxygen. And you don't even need to kill the plant. Now we have a mission to do that. Normally what I would do is this. I would just run by, grab the oxygen, and just run away. So you could totally do that and get a whole bunch of oxygen that way, but we have a milestone. We have to get rid of these guys. So let's get rid of all the ones we just picked. A little whippy plant there. There we go. So now we don't need to kill any more of these hazardous flora. We can just pull the oxygen and leave. Grab all these. Beautiful. And always, whenever you get a mission milestone done, collect that reward. So I'm going to get a delicate flora and supreme toxic protection. That's good protection for my suit. So yeah, of course we're going to use that. Beautiful. And again, gotta scan all the plants and animals and rocks. Here we are. And now we discovered our animals, so we don't need to scan any more animals. Again, I would highly recommend you do because you get money for that. But our mission is done. Our milestone is done. We got all our creatures scanned. And so we got a radiation protection and creature pellets so we can feed creatures now. And we're going to need that for later on. Let's put our protection in there. So now there is a mission to take a picture of 5 different animals, or 5 animals in a group. So let's see what we got here. Where you are, right here. In phase 3, again, you don't have to do these in order. We have a photo. We have to take a photo of 5 animals at the same time. What they mean by that is you need to get all the animals in the single shot. So the easiest way to do that is throw out 1 pellet. Go to your menu and just throw it out. Because if you throw the food, they all smell it and they'll all group together around it. That way you can get an easy photo from them. So throw it in there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we need another one. You guys are being all greedy. 5 right there. And now we need to go into our photo mode. So photo mode real fast before they run away. And use your in-game photo mode button, whatever that is. I'm playing on PC. However, it says press A to take a screenshot. So do that, whatever button that is. If you're on PlayStation, it'll say press X to take a screenshot. Use your in-game. Don't use your photo mode button like on your Xbox or your PlayStation. Don't use your screenshot button. Use the in-game option. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Take a photo. And if you want to, just to be sure, use your in-game, your controller button, or like if you're on Xbox, press Y and do all that kind of stuff. Go through your dashboard. Just take multiple pictures if you're not comfortable, but it should only take that. So I didn't touch anything else, right? That should give it to me. That was not 5? This is 5 right here, right? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 right there. There you go. It took a second. Sometimes it might take a little longer to kind of register, but don't worry. As long as you have 5 animals total in this shot, you should be good. So let's get that reward here. Take a photo of 5 ground creatures. We're gonna get our fishing pole and bionic lure. There we are. And we got our boat as well. And another one to keep in mind. It's a farther one down. But, and I believe it's phase 5. You have to search 20 different dung samples. So poops. You have to go search poops. So if you feed an animal, they will poop afterwards. So since we used our food to feed these guys, I'm going to grab the poop while we're here. And if you just let them, stick around a little bit, they will just keep pooping. So I'm not very patient, so I'm just going to run away. But you can also just start feeding them more, like throw out more food, let them eat, they will poop. Wait a minute or two, and then throw out some more food, they will eat, then they will poop, that kind of thing. So I'm not really patient, so I'm just going to move on because we need to get our fossils. So let's go down here. We have our fossil bed marked over here for us. I'm going to always get this oxygen. No, not you. So let's do that. And there is no stepping milestone, so there's no milestone for getting steps in. Thank God. Last expedition, we had to walk 10,000 steps. That was kind of a nightmare. This one, not so much. You don't need to do that. So here's our fossil bed. Oh, coming up here in 100 units. So you're going to see different amounts. Sometimes you'll see 1 like this. Sometimes you'll see 5 or 10. But what we need to do is we need to uncover this. And this is one of the brand new features in the Relic update. Look at that. It's actually a fossil. It's not even just random bones. We need to pick it up. And now we got some dangling forearms. So look at that. Boom. Oh, yeah. We need some... oh, there's some fossil bed over there. Actually, there's one right here. Let's get this one. That one's scary. But we need some ferrite dust. Oh, yeah. We need to get some minerals as well. Let's scan that as well. Need to get that done. Now, minerals are the object, when you scan it, that gives you the least amount of money. So if you're going to pick and choose which one to scan, always scan the animals first because they're worth the most. And then scan your plants because they're worth the middle. And then the rocks last because they don't give you very much money at all. But we have our mission to do it, so that's why we're doing that. I think I scanned all these. All right. Oh, there's some over there. 1,000, 1,000. Let's go. Oh, there's a guy over here. Okay, there's a building over here. Let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, this looks like a manufacturing facility. Oh, it's an observatory. Okay. Well, let's go over here because this is another thing they've added. So this Vigilant stone is a new thing that they have, and they're basically guardians that guard fossils. So if you see a Vigilant stone, go over there, check it out, because there's probably fossils there. And you want those fossils, right? So let's go do this. Always grab those oxygen-rich plants. Let's scan the rocks here. We need those minerals. Oh, there we go. Oh, never mind. We got our minerals down now. So now minerals are done. We can grab that reward here. Prepackaged advanced mining laser and defense system and inventory upgrades. I'll take all of those. So we have our inventory upgrade. I would say you can put it up here if you want to. However, you're going to need room in your general inventory for all the bones we're going to collect. So make sure you're putting room in your inventory for that. Oh yeah, we have our shield and stuff. So let's do that real fast. We have another shield. Beautiful. Advanced mining laser. We're going to need that for later on. All right. Let's keep going towards this Vigilant stone. Oh, crap. I fell off. That hurt. That hurt a lot. So we got all the plant. I think we got all the plants, right? Or no? Eliminated hazardous flora. No, we need... Oh, my God. We only scanned 5 plants? We need more than that. We need 10 more plants. Wow. Well, let's start scanning some plants. I've been neglecting that. So let's get in here. Now, there is something to keep in mind when it comes to these Vigilant stones, these guardians. The guardians, the Vigilant stones, will not activate unless you activate them. They are very similar to the Whispering Eggs. If you've played No Man's Sky for a little while, you know about Whispering Eggs. If you don't, they are eggs that are found around certain buildings, and if you touch them, if you break them, enemies will come out and try to attack you. The same thing happens with these Vigilant stones. Nothing will happen unless you disturb the eye. You can run into it. You can even dig around it. So if I say, hey, look at that. Nothing will happen to it as long as you don't touch it. As long as you don't, like, literally grab it and disturb the eye. So you don't have to worry about, like, accidentally activating them or anything like that. They are okay as long as you don't touch them. Now, that being said, we are going to need to touch one because we have a milestone for fighting the Guardians. We need to fight them. We need to. Oh my god, look at all these bones we have here. What do we have, like 8 of them here? Look at this. That's a good amount of bones. How many did we get out of that? So we had 1 from before. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 7 bones out of that one deposit. I like that. One fossil area. So yeah, look at that. I just dug all around. I picked up all the bones. I don't know why they're called the Guardians. They don't activate when you steal all the bones. However, if you disturb the eye, make sure you have your weapon ready. If you disturb the eye, now the Guardians are awake. Oh, there's 2 of them here. Okay, so look at it. You will randomly get 1 or 2. I've never seen 3, but I mean, it could happen. But these are the stone guardians. Look at these guys. And they're just like any other enemy. You just have to destroy them. So use your weapon, whatever weapon you prefer. And now they're gone. And look at that. We defeated an ancient guardian. That was one of our milestones. That's why we grabbed that eyeball. We gotta get rid of this guy before he murders us, though. Think he's dead? Did I get him? I did. Okay, good. Thank God. All right, so that's easy. That's it, right? And again, you don't even have to do that. So, I mean, you should do it because there's a milestone for defeating a guardian. So we want to do that one. We get a personal force field, a powerful scatter blaster upgrade, yes, and a shell greaser. I will take all of that. So let's increase our inventory on our multi-tool there. And now let's install those upgrades. That way we have a weapon that's really powerful. There we are. And, I mean, we can use the force field, but I don't like using it, so I'm going to sell that one later on. Just like I'm going to sell the pulse spitter. I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to sell it and make some money from it. So there you go. That is a really good intro to all of this. We need to get to the first dig site. We need to collect a complete fossil. And we need to reassemble an avian skeleton. But we're going to do that in the next episode. But what I'm going to do before we get to the next episode, I will tell you. Run around this planet and pick up as many bones as you possibly can. Because, again, we're going to need 80 of them, right? Pick up as many as you can. And I will say, just for a frame of reference, you don't need very many skulls. Skulls are the easiest thing to get. So you look at that. Boom. I have 3. I got 3 skulls. So more than half of my my picks were all skulls. You do not need a whole bunch of skulls. So, if you want to min-max on your bones, focus on getting your limbs. Get your legs, get your arms, get your tails, get your ribs. Get these ones. Focus on these ones. These are the more rare bones to get. You're going to get skulls all over the place. So, just find a few skulls that you like and get rid of the ones you don't like. Highly, highly recommend doing that. I'm going to run around. I'm going to collect some skulls, or I'm going to collect some bones. And I will see you guys in the next episode when we start kicking butt and taking names. So, I'll see you guys then.